Hello everyone, thank you for watching. My name is Sabrina and welcome to my YouTube channel. Here on my channel I will be expressing my love towards the beauty industry and the culinary arts. I am a licensed cosmetologist and licensed cosmetologist instructor, so you'll get some little education tips and tricks. And here on the food side, food is a big hobby of mine, cooking, baking, creating little treats, so expect to see some yummy creations. If you guys ever have any recommendations, you can always comment down below. I have two Instagrams. I have a beauty one and I have a food one. They will all be linked down in the description box below. And I also do have a little blog with a few of my own recipes on there, which will also be linked down there, so don't forget to check that out. And with further ado, thank you and welcome to my channel, and let's get right into this video. So first I'm going to start by priming my eyes with my Loreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. And I like to use a light concealer when applying lighter colors for my skin tone. And I'm just going to take this all up into the eyebrow area, and I'm just going to blend this out until it looks seamless. Next, to set all this concealer so there's no creases in my eyeshadow, I'm going to be using one of the pale to yellow shades in my Lorac Pro palette. So I'm going to be using one of these, and I'm just going to set my eyes. This just helps so there's no creasing in your eye makeup throughout the day, especially since I am applying glitter. That is a big pet peeve of mine when I have glitter on my eyes, and throughout the day when you're sweating or if you have oily skin, your makeup starts to melt or crease. So as you can see, I already started one of my eyes. I am going for a more sunset glittery eye today, and I will be using these two Morphe palettes, 353, and this is the Morphe 25L. And these both, open them, have these beautiful colors in them that will help me create these looks. So to start out, I am going to be applying the shade Sunlight into my crease, and this is just a bright yellow color to begin my sunset eye. And I'm just taking a big fluffy brush just to help me fill this big surface area that I have here in my brow bone area. And I just like to pack this on so you can see the boldness of the colors. And keep in mind, my skin tone is obviously darker, so I'm going to be packing this on quite a bit just so you can see the pigment better. Next, I'm going to be going in with this orange shade just because the Morphe 25L doesn't really have a bright orange. They're more like peachy and they show up a little light on my skin tone. So I'm just going to go in with this hefty orange just to create that bold look. So I'm just going to start by packing this into my crease. And it helps when I use a more fluffier, stubby brush like this because it helps the pigment stay on better. And I'm just going to pack this on in the crease area. And then we can worry about blending this all out later when you have all the colors in place. Sunset eyes can be created however you want. This is just one of the takes that I have on it. So now that the orange is in place, I am going to go in with the bright pink shade called Sexuality from the Morphe 25L. I'm just going to pack that right onto the outer V of my eye, into the orange. Just pack that on in there. Now to begin creating the shimmery shade that I'm going to be placing on my eyelids, I'm going to be going in with the shade Stonewall right here. And previously I had used this is the shade Sunlight in my crease, and this is the bright pink shade I was talking about, Sexuality, that I put in my outer V. So I'm just going to start applying this in like the 1/3 part of my eye right here in the front. And it helps when you apply shimmery shadows like this when using a synthetic brush, because synthetic eyeshadow brushes hold the shimmer pigment very well. I'm just going to pack this on. I look like a disco ball. And I don't have to go in so heavy on this because I actually am going in with another palette to add some glitter. So I'm going to be going in with my Colourpop Thrill of It palette, and to add that extra glam on my eyelid, I'm going to be going in with this gold glitter pigment right here, and these are beautiful glitter pigments that come in those little containers that you have to dump out. They can be a little tedious to work with, so I'm so glad that I found a couple palettes actually that have like glitter eyeshadow, and they work amazing. So again, I am going in with the synthetic brush, and I'm just going to be applying this glitter to the 1/3 of my eye, right on top of that glitter shade Stonewall from the Morphe palette. And this will just help brighten things up, and this will add extra dimension to my eye. And it also looks very beautiful with the sunset eye. I am now going in with my e.l.f. liquid eyeliner in the shade Jet Black, and I'm just going to be creating a thick wing on the top. I'm trying to do this up close so you guys can see how I create my wing. I start by outlining the top of my eye first and then going in with the wing. And I just draw a straight line up and then connect it back down. Yes, this can be hard. It takes a lot of practice, but when you practice, it makes for better. So I promise you will get better at this if you cannot achieve a wing in the 3 easy steps as I just said. So now it's on to face. I'm going to be going in with my Mario Badescu Aloe and Cucumber and Green Tea spray just to add some moisture back into my skin. I have very dry skin, and I usually use the rose water out of the Mario brand, but right now I have this one because I finished the rose water, so this will do just fine. And I'm just gonna air dry this a little bit. When it comes to applying face makeup such as foundation, concealer, I do not typically use a face primer. Since my skin is dry, I just go to the extra extent of using very hydrating products like a moisturizer or a Hydra Boost, and then just like I use the like rose water spray or some kind of spray that will add moisture back into my skin. So for starters, I'm going to be going in with my Colourpop No Filter Concealer, and it has a little orangey undertone, and I like to go in by placing my concealer under my eyes first before anything, just like this, and placing it anywhere I have blemishes, so when I put my foundation it seems seamless. Now, I have been using makeup for a while now, and I have done some trial and error, and I have found that this works the best, especially when my skin breaks out, or if I find that I'm having like really deep under eye circles. This works really well. So I'm going to be going in with this little stubby foundation brush, and this will just help blend this into my skin. And you kind of want to do a pushing motion into your skin, just so you're not dragging that product, but actually you are pushing it into your skin. You could use a beauty blender, and yes, I do have one, but sometimes I prefer a brush over a beauty blender. But it's all about preference. Makeup has no rules, it's your game. Just gonna blend this out. And you can already see this created like a flawless finish right under here, so I can start applying my foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to be going in with my LA Girl Pro Matte High Definition Longwear Matte Foundation. Wow, that's a mouthful. And it is the shade Cafe. So I have two foundations actually. One is a summer shade and one is a winter shade. Right now this is my winter shade. It's a little darker from when the sun is always out. And I am notorious for getting foundation all over my clothing or making a mess with it. So I'm just going to be putting that on the back of my hand. I'm just going to be blending this out with my brush, and then I'm just going to be pushing this into my face. And I don't even really need a lot because that concealer was medium to full coverage and that worked perfect for me. So I just need to go in and fill in those spots that didn't have any concealer. And I'm just going to be dragging this down to my neck so it blends in with the rest of my body. And make sure you always get in the creases of your nose. And if you're like me and get smile lines, because I'm always smiling and laughing, you want to make sure that you really get that product in there and blend and buff. Do whatever it takes just to make that flawless. So before I even start to set my face with a loose finishing powder, I like to go in with a yellow like type of banana powder under my eyes just to set all of that in. And if you do find that there are fine lines or creases, you can take your foundation brush or beauty blender and blend that out before you set your foundation so you don't have those lines there. And I'm going to be using a brush like so. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it is a fluffy stippling brush, so some of the bristles are long and short, and that just helps distribute the product evenly so that you get a beautiful finish underneath. And this too just helps brighten your under eyes underneath. Sometimes I do go back in with a lighter concealer after applying my foundation, but I don't have that bad of under eyes today, so I'm just going to stick with this. And I can highlight my T-zone area a bit. Get those smile lines. And yes, I said I have dry skin, but I do prefer using matte foundations and concealers just because I prefer the finish of it, but you can also use a dewy one if it works for you. To set my foundation in place, I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Medium Deep. So I'm a big Maybelline girl. I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me line for the longest time now, and I'm very happy with it. And I'm just going to be going in, setting everything in place now with this powder. And to do that, I'm going to be using a larger, fluffier stippling brush just to set this all in. I'm just going to tap off the excess. I just like to puff my cheek out so any fine lines or creases that are there will get filled with this powder. Now to add some color and dimension back to my face, I'm going to be going in with this Morphe bronzer in the shade Debutante. I'm not a bronzer girl. I love those deep, like chocolate colors in contour palettes, but I find that this is so beautiful and looks so good on my skin, so I'm just going to be going in with this. And I'm going to be using a fluffy angle brush like so, just so it gives me better precision when applying this. And trust me, I did not know how to contour when it first came out, but I learned and I grew. So if you ever need help, you can either smile like this and find your cheeks, or you can do like a fish face like this and you can find that line where you can create your contour. And when I do the cheeks part, I like to cut my cheeks a little bit so they look like little ball. Like, I have chubby cheeks to begin with, so it just kind of accentuates them. And then I go along my jaw at the bottom, taper my chin in a bit. Sometimes I do my forehead, sometimes not, and I just go on the sides of my nose, just not to slim it down because I like my little button nose, but I just like to add that color back in there so everything seems even. Now it is time for blush. I am going to be going in with this Too Faced blush quad. This was a part of one of their holiday launches that they had last year, but I just love the colors in it, so I'm going to be going in with Christmas Dream and Pink Christmas. I'm going to mix the two of them. So this one is shimmer and this is matte, so it gives me like even dimension. It's always good when you have a fluffy brush when doing blush. Hey, that rhymed. Now, onto highlight. I feel like maybe everyone's favorite part. So this is the Bretman Rock highlight that launched with the Wet n Wild company. There are two shades in here. There is a B and an R. The B is more of a rose gold shimmery glitter, and the R is a gold shimmer, and I'm going to be using the gold shimmer today. I'm gonna pop this in, and I'm going to be using a medium-sized fluffy brush, and this actually came with it. This is part of his collection for this specific highlighter, so I'm just going to be going in with this. This is so beautiful. It's so pigmented, and it was really affordable. This is considered like a drugstore highlight, and I am living for it. Oh, this is so beautiful. You can go in and add some to the bridge of your nose, your cupid's bow on your chin. This is all of this right here is totally optional, but I go in and do it because I like it. Next, brow time. So I'm going to be using my Beige Cosmetics Studio Pro Brow Palette. I've had this for a long time now, but I love it so much. You can see that it's kind of gone. They have pomades on the bottom and then powders that go with to correspond with almost everyone's eyebrow tone, you can say, I guess. So I'm going to be going in with this deep soft black right here. I prefer to do my brows last. I know I did my eyes, but when the foundation is there, sometimes it can make your eyebrows seem lighter if your foundation gets in it. So I like to do my brows towards the very end of my makeup application. Just gonna comb it up with a spoolie. And I have very thick eyebrows, as you can see, to begin with, so I don't go in with a heavy hand. I just go in, fill in where needs be, and I just kind of follow the shape. I don't do any overdrawing or anything with my eyebrows, just because I have a full set to begin with. So I'm just gonna follow this line, and it helps, like, it looks like I have filled this part in, but if you comb down you can see that this is missing. So if you're ever going to a party or special occasion and you know that you can that you want everything to be perfect, you can just fill that on in. Just like so. Then you can comb this out. Whenever you have harsh lines, just take your spoolie, just go below and just blend that all out. Just like that. I'm going a little bit more heavier on this side. Then I'll go back in with another product that I'll show you soon, just to clean everything up and accentuate the brows. So this is the little product I was talking about before with my brows. This is actually one of e.l.f.'s brow products. I have received this as a gift, and there's not really a proper name on it besides the shade, which is Ivory/Dark. But I go in with this little pencil, and just to clean up any lines. I know most people use concealer, but I really like these little pencils. They work really well. And if you ever just wanted to clean up whatever you think mistakes, I just like when my brows are like the focal point and perfect, and I just go in with a flat, stiff eyeshadow brush and follow right along the curve. And do not worry if you have eyeshadow already. If you do it correctly, you should not mess up your creation. So I just follow through and just blend that right into my foundation. This helps everything look more crisp and neat. And I feel like when applying concealer to a dry powdered face, it can get a little bit cakey. So this, I feel, works very nice. And then if you want, you can go and just blend some of this out with your finger. So now we are revisiting our little friend Morphe 25L. I'm going to go in with the shade 1978 and SF. And I typically like to do any kind of eye look that I need to finish at the bottom after foundation, because that acts as a primer that the shadow will stay in place. So I'm just going to go in with SF, and this is a dark magenta. I'm just going to line the bottom my waterline, like so. Just gonna match over here. You can use an angle brush when doing this, but I find that this little lip brush works really well for me. Just gonna drag that into my lid a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with the shade 1978, and it looks lavender, but it is one of those shades when you look one way it's a color and you look the other way it's color. So it's like half blue, half purple, and I love it. And I'm just going to create a little dimension under my eyes as well, so you can see what that looks like so far. And then there's actually this color Liberation here that I'm going to be going in with, and it has like a green undertone, but it goes with this look, I would say. So I'm just gonna stick that right there. Wow, that brightens that up in the inner corner of my eye. You can see that already. This palette is so beautiful. We are getting near to the end, so I'm going to be applying these Ardell Wispies. I love these. They are actual double Demi Wispies. There's no shade number. So I'm going to be applying these. I have gotten a lot of requests to do this as a video, a mini IGTV video or IG video, whatever you want to call it. But I will be doing it here. False lashes took me a while to learn. When I used to apply them at first, I used to fall off halfway throughout the day, like towards the inner corner, but I got it now. I love these so much that I keep cleaning them to reuse them, but when they get to, you know, ground zero, they are going to have to go in the trash, sadly. And then I go in with this Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive. I find that this lash glue works so well, and this is the first lash glue that's ever held my eyelashes all day. Maybe I wasn't using the other ones correctly, but this one works really well. And I got this at Walmart for like $2.99. So that's awesome for a big tube of lash glue. So this is kind of hard to see, I'm so sorry, but I'm just going to apply a generous amount to the lash band right here. Typically I like to put more on the ends and the front because that's where it has the most trouble sticking for me. I'm just going to close that a little bit. And I'm just going to fan this for about 30 to 60 seconds. I like when the glue gets really tacky, it works the best to stick. And if you want, you can blow on them because they are your lashes, but whenever applying false eyelashes to a client, you would never blow on them because it's unsanitary. Some people have questions like, when do you know that the lash glue is dry enough that you can stick it on? I don't know how well you can see this. Probably not well, but when you see that the glue is almost transparent to clear, then you know you are good to go. If you want, you can stick your finger in it just to see if it's tacky, but it's all up to you. So I'm just gonna put this on. And then you can use tweezers just to help you place that. And you can always go in the middle and press them just so you know that they are on securely. Just like that. And you can always take mascara and blend your regular lashes with this. So like if you have flat eyelashes, your regular eyelashes aren't sticking out under your false lashes. That's optional, but I have my Too Faced mascara that I'm going to be just quickly blending this in. Nothing special, and you can apply some to your lashes if you'd like. And then of course your bottom lashes if you'd like to, but I have a different mascara for that. And if you have smaller, like a smaller eye shape, you can always cut your lashes to fit your eye shape. You do not have to keep your lashes as is from the store. I tend to get rushy when I have one lash on. I just want to get the other one on, but I learned Patience is a virtue, guys. I'm good with being patient, so. Just maybe not when it comes to putting on my second lash. There are special eyelash tweezers that look like the shape of like an eyelash or a football, if you want to say. I just prefer to use regular like eyebrow tweezers. Okay, so I kind of changed my mind and I want to add some blue at the bottom waterline for my sunset. So I'm just going to go in with an angle brush like so. And I'm just going to add some dark blue right along. I'm not taking away the purple or the lavender that I've set there, but I'm just going to drag this right along. Ooh, that looks beautiful. See, that just adds right there. I love it. And I'm just going to do like the end into the middle, not all the way through. Blending that, add some dimension in there. It is time for lips. So I am going to be going in with this Kat Von D matte liquid lipstick in the shade Sanctuary. And I'm going to be lining my lips with the Wet n Wild lip liner in the color Chestnut. I love this lip liner so much. It works really well for brown lips and doing ombre, so I'm going to go in with this first. And because I have such bold eyes, I like to do a nude lip just so everything just evens out and nothing's overpowering another. And I like my lips if you ever want to overdraw them. Not saying that I never do. Sometimes I go over, but for now I'm just gonna stick to the natural shape of my lips. And some people wipe their foundation off of their lips, but I don't because I feel like it gives me a nice like primed kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it for my lips. A nice base, I should say. And if you do mess up, you can just go in. But if it's hard for you to keep a steady hand, you can balance your hand right here on the bottom of your chin. And that helps so much. And I just like to fill this in a little bit in corners. When doing any kind of lipstick, especially matte, I love putting on like a Vaseline or a lip balm. And I had done that previously to my makeup application when I did all my skincare steps, so I'm good to go. And now I'm just going to be going in and I'm going to fill my lips like so. I'm just going to rub them together. I love Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. They stay throughout the day, when I eat, if I drink anything, so they work really well, especially with the matte lip liner. So you can see it gave me a little ombre effect. I'm loving how my look came out. I am also going to be doing a hairstyle with this. I don't know if you can entirely see my shirt, but it is a flared sleeve with pink polka dots. Totally getting a 70s disco vibe. I'm going to create a harsh side part right here. Just going to comb this over. If you need products such as hairspray, pomade, gel to help you get this like sleek look, that's totally fine. I'm just going to take this bottom section right here, make kind of a U shape, and then I'm going to take a front section of this, going to tease this, going to be creating a bump. I was notorious for wearing these in high school. I still do. Just gonna let that fall over into my face. Smaller sections work just to create that volume. I have thick hair, so I don't need that much teasing, but I'm just gonna smooth this out. You don't want to brush through or you'll take out the teasing you created, but you're gonna have your comb on a slant like a 45 degree. Going to take a little pinchy clip like so. Just going to pull that back together, and I'm going to clip it. So this is my little hairstyle with my finished makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For being my first video, if you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you want to see any other kind of makeup looks or skincare videos or any kind of requests that you guys want to see, comment them down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Mwah!